Thank you, Matt. I appreciate everyone coming out on a cold, rainy day, and hopefully our team can stay hot and fight off this cold weather. We had a great day Saturday, welcoming back a lot of former players, coaches, and managers, trainers, coaches' wives, including Ms. Shipley, for a great reunion. And I was glad that our guys played well against Monroe. We knew it would be a tough game, a physical game. It started off very physical. As we missed our first 11 shots, several were at the basket. There was some contact, and it was obvious from that point on the referee was going to let us play. And we got into a rhythm, had a 16-point run there to end the half and go up 33-15 at the half. And in the second half, we came out and shot the ball extremely well, I believe making our first 9 3-point shots. So our defense kept us in the first half. We sustained the defense in the second half and put on an offensive clinic there for a minute. And because of that, we had an 82-40 lead, I think, with 4:40 left in the game. So, and don't score again once we went to the bench. And to miss out on the first 5 minutes of the game, 5.5 and then 4.5, and still score 82 points and make 8 free throws in only 11 attempts says that we made a lot of three-point shots, and we did. We had Jakina Gant return and made his presence felt as he had 12 points, 2 big three-pointers to start the second half, a couple of block shots, 3 rebounds, and only 16 minutes of play. And Frank Barley also had 12, and then we had, I believe, 4 guys in double figures, and maybe had 7 guys between 8 and 12 points, and I think we also had 7 guys that made 3-point field goals. So spread it around pretty well, 23 assists on 30 made baskets, but the most impressive number to me was 17 of 50 from the floor for ULM and 7 turnovers for our guys. So we did a good job. We did what we needed to do in a rival game. And now we'll focus our attention to Texas. Yesterday we had a weight day, rehab day, and film day. And we'll get on the court this afternoon for practice and hopefully fly tomorrow to Arlington after class and get in there and get a good workout tomorrow night preparation for their team. They were picked first in the league. As you guys know, we split last year. They have 2 first-team all-conference players in Kevin Hervey and Eric Neal. They've both been player of the week in our conference already. They're outstanding players. They've lost a couple of road games. They've only lost 1 home game all year to Florida Gulf Coast. And they'll be ready to play us, as all teams are, and we need to come and play well. And from there, we'll go to Texas State. It'll be a totally different type game there, possession game more so than it will be at Arlington. I've coached against these guys for a long time when we were all members of the Southland Conference as well as the Sun Belt. And look forward to this trip. We always play well in Texas. And hopefully, as I said earlier, this weather won't slow us down at all.
Coach, you guys continue to be a really, really good first half team. What has it been about the way you guys prepare that allows you to come out and continue to outscore your opponents in that first half?
Well, the last game we were actually a little sluggish to start with, maybe because of layoff, as we talked about after the game. But once we settled in and got the nerves out, I thought we did a really good job. We've just been good defensively. We've had a spurt almost in the first half of every game that's given us an extension in the lead, and we've been able to hang on and win a lot of games because of our first half play. But it's nice as a coach to not wait till the second half to turn it on. And I feel like our guys are ready. They're focused. They're prepared. They've done an excellent job following the scouting reports on a day-to-day basis.
Coach, is this the best team that you've ever had?
No, it's way too early to say that. I coached a national championship team, so I don't think we're at that stage yet. But I've had some good teams, and this is a good team. I like them as people. I like them as players. They're fun to coach. We spent a lot of time together from Cuba to the Caymans to all season. And we were away from them about 3 days at Christmas, and I was anxious to see them when they got back. So they're important to me, and I like them a lot, and I think they're playing really good basketball right now. So I hope that continues, and we'll reevaluate this question at the end of the year.
How much has Bartley kind of delivered on expectations compared to when you got him?
He's done a good job. He's worked hard on his shot, Tim. He's really turned into a threat from the three-point line. A lot of hard work has gone into that, a lot of extra time with coaches and extra time after practice. When he came, he was more of a slasher, but he's turned into a three-point shooter. The second game we played, he was eligible at Montana State. I think he had 29 or 30 points and made like 6 threes, did a real nice job. And continued that for most of the year. He had a slump when our team had a slump in February last year, but he still was newcomer of the year in the conference. And he's really battled through an early season where he didn't shoot the ball as well as he wanted to, and he's had a great conference season to date. Been very efficient, and he's a big part of our team. As you know, he's super athletic. His defense is what's really been impressive to us as coaches, because when he defends and rebounds and is really engaged on that end of the floor, we're a much better team.
Bryce Washington just kind of continues just to churn out stats, churn out rebounds. How important is a player like him, a guy that just kind of takes the inside and does a lot of teams' dirty work?
I said last night on the radio show that he and Marcus Stroman can impact a game without scoring a point. And Bryce does it rebounding, Marcus does it by passing. But Bryce has been an instrumental leader to me and to this program for 3.5 years, and can rebound the ball with anybody. He just has great knowledge, great determination, and great will to go in and rebound the ball in traffic. He's got great hands, as we've talked about, and great feet, and he's got a nice body, and he knows how to use it. So I'm extremely proud of Bryce, and he's closing in on 1,000 rebounds to get that double-double. That's a 1,000-point scorer and a 1,000-point rebounder special. And even more important is the fact that if he stays healthy and things go the way they've gone, that he'll wind up as the third leading rebounder in Sun Belt Conference history for a guy that started 2.5 years. So that's a pretty amazing statistic.
Coach, how's Jaqueline been feeling with his thumb? How's he been able to work through that? Coming back and playing his first game and then working a little bit of practice this week.
He's been good. He actually set out 1 day of practice, 2 days, but he ran, he conditioned, and it hadn't affected him at all. He's been aggressive in practice. He plays extremely hard. Sometimes I wish he wouldn't dunk every ball. I grimace a little bit, but he's got a splint on it, and it's taped down, and it certainly didn't affect his three-point shooting. I think sometimes when you're injured or sick, you focus more on the fundamentals, and he's a good shooter, so I was glad to see him knock those 2 in.
You try to get him involved a little bit more from a minutes perspective. He had just 16.
Yeah, well, no one played minutes the other day, though, Cody. That was part of it. Bryce may have played 31. Marcus played 26, and I felt like Marcus had a double-double. He was playing really well. He had 10 assists with 10 minutes left in the game, and he was scoring the ball. But we shared the minutes, pretty much down the board like we usually do. When you play the walk-ons the last, 6-7 minutes, then it's going to cut in other people's minutes, and we're good with that. So I would expect his minutes to increase a little bit.
When you guys play Texas State, they're obviously a team that likes to get teams into the low-scoring grind. You guys haven't really played many games like that this year. Do you guys feel prepared to go in and play kind of a low-scoring, maybe it's first to 65 kind of wins game?
Yeah, we've done pretty well defensively, too. Matt gave me a statistic this morning that I think in the last 3 games that we've given up less points than any team in the country except for Davidson. And we've held our opponents below 24 times this season, which has never happened before. So we're actually leading the league in scoring points against, and Texas State's second, which is quite a change from my games against Danny Casper when he was at Stephen F. Austin and then Texas State. So it is a possession-type game. It's a grinded-out half-court game at times. We'll still try to push the pace. I believe we scored 70-something points over there last year. We've had a lot of success over there. They've beaten us 1 time since they've joined the league, and we'll see. but sometimes it can be first one to 65 wins.
Coach, obviously you guys have been, cruising through Sun Belt play today, but is there something that you guys really need to work on? One thing that sticks out to you, where you just throw your hands up in the air, like, yeah, we got to fix this?
Nothing really to fix. We need to fine tune a couple things. The main thing that I'm excited about, Collins, our defense has been fantastic. Like we talked about, points allowed, field goal percentage defense. We're up the top of the league in conference play. We're defending so much better than we did early in the year. And I think the way we share the ball and are nationally ranked in like 10 different categories, with assists being one of them and rebounding, if we'll continue to defend and do what we need to do, then our guys understand that it helps us all and helps us win, and that's what we're about. So just continue the defensive effort and have some good fortune.
I like your glasses, by the way. It's good stuff, man.
Thank you. I want to look like you.
You don't want that, Coach.
What is the mindset like in the locker room right now? It's really easy to be just kind of cruising through the conference and players get overconfident. What is kind of the mentality like amongst the guys?
Yeah, I don't think there's any overconfidence with this group. They know what's at stake. We've got tremendous senior leadership with Bryce Washington, Jonathan Stove, Frank Bartley, Loren Stalkup, and Jacob Broussard, and good junior leadership too, for that matter. But we have talked to them about class starting and professors and people on campus congratulating them and patting them on the back, and they have to realize that it's the next game. So the pregame talk the other night was it's not about the past, although it was a little bit with the reunion guys there, and it's not about the future, but it's about the precious present, and that's what we're in. So our guys have been focused on the process and one game at a time. And it's been a great locker room. I think the guys are anxious to get in there every day.